Well, hello there, my queens, kings, and all you beautiful other things. My name is Ashley, aka Stitch. I thank you. And welcome to my Flosstube channel, where I discuss my cross stitch and whatever else decides to compute in my brain and fall out of my mouth, which hopefully will be fun for you guys, at least entertaining to some extent. If you're a new viewer, please come on in, sit down, take a seat, get a coaster for your drink. Again, enjoy chaos. Returning viewers, the Gluttons for Punishment, the Flosstube fam, thank you for coming back. I love you all so much. Mwah. Hey guys and girls. And I've done that bit. Let's move on. Some of you eagle-eyed viewers out there may notice that I'm back earlier than I said I would be, which is unheard of for me normally. Normally you guys would have to wait like another 2 weeks for me to decide to get up and come back, but I have been itching to do this. I really have. I decided this year I was going to get on it. I'm going to stick on it, and I've stuck to it. And I like I said, I wanted to do this video like last week, but stayed around, had some more stitching to be done, and we'll do it today. It's fine. This, as much as it's the 12th of February, it's the 12th of February today. However, this is my Flosstube 13, which maybe the unlucky one, but I wasn't putting a Flosstube 13 out on the 13th, which would be tomorrow. I'm not going to do it on Valentine's Day, and by that point it would be the next week, so I thought, let's go for today, so we're going for today. Before the chaos ensues any further, let's let you know what's been going on with me. Stitching, mainly, and have been working, got to go into the office, which was nice. Got a train ticket, train was cancelled, so I went by bus, had a lovely travel through a little bit of the Buckinghamshire and Bedfordshire countryside, which was nice. Should have taken a book really, it was a little bit long, but it was beautiful, just stared out the window, it was nice. And my sister, she had a birthday, so we went out for that, that was lovely. Saw some friends a few different times. That's it really. It's just been a regular month, which is probably why it's been simples and easy and stuff. Been doing quite well inside this as well, so that's been nice. Yeah, not much else has happened, so let's move on to stitch stuff. Oh, guys. So as expected, I'm just doing everything with so nowadays, but there, so, for, so, forthwith, and hence, betwixt, I don't know, the old Englishy stuff. Anyway, unlike myself, this month I'd obviously made plans of what I'm going to do this year. I want to stick with my like history, the fantasy, the geek chicery, what I'm now going to delightfully refer to as the aesthetic. Hashtag, I'm not that cool, it's just aesthetic. I thought it was cool, I've told you guys now, let's forget it. However, clearly the aesthetic that I'm dealing with. And within that aesthetic, I'd already told you guys what I was going to be stitching going forwards and things, which was great. Long story short, I've got 3 new starts. I know. Right, so let's get into it as we can. So I'm just going to quickly have a squiz on my notes, and I'll be 2 seconds. 2 seconds. New starts. New starts. Okay, there's 3 of them. Okay. Right. So the first new start I've got is one that I said I was going to wait until my birthday to stitch. Unfortunately for me, I saw that I had the stuff to start it and I really wanted to, so I did. So without further ado, my first start is Dragon Bones Underwater, which is a piece by Stefan Coydle, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, and was charted by ContemporaryCross, the people I've told you previously, I've shown you it previously, and you guys from the last video that have seen it will know what it looks like, but just in case you haven't, here's what it will look like when it's finished. And this will be the picture that you will see going forwards of, you know, well this is going to be the last time you saw a picture next time, but here's where we got with that. And it's the wrong way around. There we go, cool. Right, so here's where we got with that. and we can see all of that. The majority of that is all one colour, hence why it was so quickly to go through. I am currently on, I'm gonna throw the percentage in now because I forgot, and I don't think I've made a percent yet, possibly, maybe, probably not, on here. So I've done that. That bottom colour, the bit that I haven't stitched, which we fold up a little bit more, and you guys can see in here, because technically that's a page finish without that. That is in 310, and you can clearly obviously see that it's going to be different there. However, once it's finished, I don't think that's going to differ very much from the original, like what we'll be able to see when it's big. So I've decided in my brain, I've decided on two decisions that I'm either going to do it in metallic gold or metallic silver. But either way, this is as far as I've got. There's a lot of the same colours. The majority of this is DMC 939. And I say it's just something simple to stitch. There are other couple of little bits in here. Oh, it feels beautiful. But that is, yeah, currently the dragon bone's underwater. It goes that far down to there because I had extra thread there. And there is some bits here. And so far, not managed to put any food on it. I want to say 14, but it's not. This is 18 count white Ada. I know, guys, I know. The person who actually used to be is apparently fading. We've got 18 Ada, we've got 11 Ada, which I know is easier than 14 technically as well. But we've got some different Adas. It's going to be great, but this is hurting my honour, so I'm going to drop this dragon. But that's my Stefan Coidal dragon bones. Yeah, I will. All the pieces that I've got that I will link links to down in my doobly-doos, so you guys can go and see for next time. Up after that, there was something that I mentioned in my last video, again, sticking with my aesthetic. There is Dungeons and Dragons. I showed it on my last one, and just to kind of get you guys who haven't seen it, if this is your first time here, this is the Dungeons and Dragons Druid class piece by, I've got it written down here, guys, because I'm not going to forget it, WhiteRavenPatterns on Etsy. And they created this, which when it is finished will kind of look like this. And as you can see from this is as much as I've done with it. I have used different colours to what's actually asked for because I just wanted to start it, and I thought it's a handful of greens. I can pull a handful of greens out, so I have. And I've done this much so far, which obviously beautiful. There are bits down here to be done as well. Personally, there is going to be a little bit more on this, which I was going to talk about in a bit, but I'll talk about it now. For those of you that know, well, not the those of you that know, but well, not those of you that know that this is the length of my piece and all that jazz, it's huge. I am part of a D&D campaign, which has been on hiatus for a little bit due to reasons, but kind of as a, doing all that in front of my face while I'm talking to you, kind of in the way of like my little homage to us. I've decided to do, my character's name is Dickie and he's a druid, hence the leaves, which I hope to do for the rest of the group that I'm with along here, and maybe create something else to go alongside it. But that's basically going to be what I'm calling my campaign banner, because that's what I want it to be. So starting off the whips, we are going for a lovely, lovely, beautiful one, which I have worked on, which is why it's a whip, clearly. But this is my Evolution Pokemon cross stitch, which, right, I said to you guys last time, I was going to buy the pattern once I got paid, which I had every intent of doing. I went to that page to do so, and the pattern is no longer available. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to do with that. Yeah, so what I will do is I'll keep an eye out for it. If anyone else sees it anywhere available, please feel free to let me know, and I will obviously go and purchase from that. But let's show you a picture of what it looked like last time that you saw it. And here's what it looks like now. So the only actual thing that I have done on this is that I've continued with the water in Vaporeon. I just finished it out. There was literally about 20 stitches that needed doing on that. So I haven't finished it, but I finished what I was going to use of that colour. So then I'll finish out the rest of Vaporeon as I continue. But yeah, the entire piece, which is this. Sorry, I'm freezing to see if this will make a thumbnail for me. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. You guys will be able to tell if there's a thumbnail. Right, so yeah, that's that 14 count Ada with stitches from my stash, stitches from threads from my stash. New viewers, this is the chaos that I'm talking about. Words don't know how to form. I say they form in here and they fall out here. There's no connection to the two, it just happens. Right, so there was that one. Then actually focusing on something I said I was going to focus on now. So previously on Yas Stitch, I had said that this is going to be one of the big items that I was going to be focusing on as the year went on, which I'm glad I have a little bit. This is the 150 Generation 1 Pokemon piece by Lord Libidan. Will be linked where I can find it below. This is obviously what it will look like when it is finished. Here's what it looked like last time you saw it. And here's what it looks like now. Now, as I'm unfolding this, I'm telling you guys as I'm unfolding this, I'm going to show you the bottom half because that's the bit I worked on. So, like the side that's closest to me, if any of you can see from what the picture was before, I've worked on that. That was about 1,200 stitches I threw in there. Just easy stitch, like I say, as I've shown you from the opposite side. I've already gone round and stitched like the outside, so I've just got to keep myself within the square, really, to keep doing so. But yeah, so let's, if we zoom in, because this technology, you know, this technology that we've got, that's the part that I worked on basically. These from like there upwards, he says, let's throw that on there like that, from like there upwards I've done, I think he says, but it was about 1,200 stitches that I counted. But yeah, that's just something again that is easily going to be worked on throughout the year. I got an issue, well, I had an issue regarding taking stuff off frames, and because it was so hard to get stuff back on and then get it all in the right place and then gather up all of it, like, because at the moment with all these big pieces I'm doing, it's okay just to smoosh all the fabric together and throw it inside a, what they called, pillowcase, you know, and then tie it all off. But then once I've got pattern in it, it's going to obviously be harder to do so. So any tips, please feel free in the doobly-doos below. But yes, I have taken everything off to show you guys because I want to be able to show you everything. What have we got going on there? Yeah, so with that 150 piece, which is 14 count Ada, white, surprised. That is DMC 157 that I'm working on with that. I've got a load of it just to go around and get sorted and get that border done, which I'm doing first. And I have already purchased the threads to do Bulbasaur, Ivysaur and Venusaur, because that is my ADHD brain thing that I'm doing with it for some reason. I want to stitch the entire border and then I want to stitch it Pokemon by Pokemon. So that's currently the plan. I mean, the other plan is, if anyone remembers the poker rap, but why would you? There was probably 3 people watching, if that remember it. I might do it in that order, but that's just way too much and it's just way too overboard. So we'll probably stick to the way I'm going to do it at the moment. Unless I get to the top of it and decide to stop this, I'm just going to carry on and do what I want, which is probably what will happen. But rambling over, let's move on, shall we? Then, up next came a piece that I hadn't worked on in a while, but I saw somebody else working on it. Someone that I'm going to shout out shortly, working on this piece. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to work on this piece. It fits in the aesthetic it's supposed to. But for those of you who know who this is that's done this, it's Vincent van Gogh, his Starry Night, charted by a company I don't think I'm allowed to mention yet, because I don't really know what's going on and all that, but I want to show this piece because I worked on it, so I'm going to. So Vincent van Gogh, Starry Night. Here's what it will look like when it's finished. Here is what it looked like last time you saw it. And here's what it looks like now. Now, showing it here. No, so lots and lots back, but for those of you that can tell, I've filled in green. I just filled in some of the green because there was blue and there was black and it got a little bit, okay, so we thought about throwing in some more colours because we're very greenified this month. The main pieces are those bits there, and also a couple of the stitches in that bit there that you can see, but again, all together, just coming together. Lovely. So yeah, I was inspired by a stitcher that I've recently come across, who I will let you know about shortly. Yeah, that was the other thing as well, the way that fits into my geek chic. I mean, obviously all art, anything that happened previously is technically history, but this is art history. But on another level, for those geeky chicery people of you that know this, know that it's also part of a Doctor Who storyline. So I'm wondering whether to find a small, like, mini TARDIS stitch that I could possibly stitch into, like, the larger circle in the piece, or maybe just find a really cool needle minder that I'll stick on top after. I don't know, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, moving on again. Got how many pieces left? Is it 2? I've still got 2 pieces left, guys. It's cool, it's fine, it's great, it's fun. So next one is something I've worked on a lot this month, which it's one of my favourite pieces that I'm doing. It's for my nan. It's called Life in Countryside, and when it's finished it will look like this. And last time that you saw it, kind of looked like this. And here, my babies, is what it... Oh, let's get rid of that thread. And here, my babies, is what it looks like now. So obviously, as you can see, I've done a lot more for it. I filled in many different parts. In just today, I filled in more green over here. My God, reflections don't work. But yeah, I've got that far with that beautiful piece. I say for my nan. But it just, oh my God, I love it. I love it. It's beautiful. I've also got another idea coming up that, well, I haven't written down on here, but I spoke to my cousin about doing something, which, just in case somebody else is watching, I don't probably think they are, but just in case, I'm not going to mention it, but got an idea that probably might come up in a couple of months, but I'll let you know about that when it happens. But yeah, this Life in Countryside, I'm just going to show you guys again, because why not? It's just beautiful. I love it. It really, really is. I say, and I've kind of along the lines of last time, I've been working on some of the more mundane parts of it so I don't get bored. Then I just end up doing the leaves again because I love leaves. But yeah, I will definitely be getting back to that over the next month or so. Right, my final piece, my pièce de résistance, which, as we know, that Life in Countryside and the Starry Night were both 14 count white Ada with the kit threads, stitch, floss and stuff. This one is 18 count, guys, what is happening? I know. But you already know about this piece anyway. Now, some people may hate me for what I've done to this. I have taken it out of the doojit, frame, folder, snap, cue, clip, thing, stuff, nouns. But also, I say also, when I was out for my sister's birthday, she asked me to get her some socks, and I was like, socks? She's like, yeah. It's like, but that's boring. She's like, but I need socks. I was like, okay, fine. So I bought her socks. I then went to Hobbycraft and then bought her, well, in all honesty, it was a crochet kit, because she also mentioned about, Ash, just wait until I ask you to buy me some crochet. You asked the wrong person. So I went out and I brought her a crochet kit, which, I mean, technically is for a scarf, technically is actually for a scarf. But also there are like little videos and links and stuff that you can use, that I got some additional sparkly lovely threads to go with, to possibly crochet herself some socks at some point. Or do you knit socks? Or socks? But along those lines of that story, I went to Hobbycraft, and the colour that I've been waiting for about, well, the palaver we had with the 939, I've been waiting for 3371 for ages and ages and ages. I went in there, guys, there was 10 skeins, and I was like, because this piece really, really needs it. So I picked up all 10 and then went, I'm not going to be that guy. So I put 6 back and I came away with 4, because, you know, other people might want it. If I've wanted it, there are people that probably really do want it. So, but I picked it up and I decided to throw it into this piece. But before I show you this piece, let's show you what Once Upon a Fairy Tale by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, looks like when it's finished. I mean, and then of course we will show you exactly what it looked like the last time that you saw it. And here, my gorgeous peeps, is what it looks like now. Now, don't hate me, because I drew some lines in to make it easier for me, and my thing is that they're going to get covered anyway by the full coverage, so sod it. But this is currently what it looks like, which doesn't look much different from the one before, but there's a load more stitching inside there, and I've been focusing on it. I'm kind of getting to the point where I said about the whole stuffing it all into a pillowcase when stitching in the frame. I've been going around on what I've got. I'm thinking now I'm going to have to start getting all these tiny little squiggly bits up here, you know, so then I can complete those pages and just continue. But I currently have my 3371, which apparently has 40-odd thousand stitches within this piece. This is literally like here, this is where the first shelf finishes. Like this is where the man is, the Iron Tin Man person, you know, and this is some small tree branches that you see on the picture, this size. Like I say, I don't want to have to pull it all back and then like, oh, I've got that thread, and then pull it all back out, just do that one thread there. I might as well do what most normal, logical, I would say sane, but I've met us, so yeah, people would do, you know, but whatever, that's what's going to happen. So that is currently all my work on that, and that is my last whip to show you, beautiful people. I must remember now to, while I'm doing this, if editing Ashley is currently watching this, please don't forget to take photos of all of your pictures now, so you don't then go through and do the screenshots on your old videos so they look really distorted and stuff. So if you wouldn't mind just taking those photos now, then they'll be ready for next time. Of those pieces, the ones down there. Cheers, editing Ash. Fantastic. Next! So moving on into my shout outs, I'm going to mention 3 channels that I have been watching. The first one is Karla at Stitch Me Sane, who is, I believe, a stitchy friend from Down Under. If I've got that wrong, I'm ever so sorry. I don't think I'm wrong, I think I'm right. I do believe I'm right. Who has a lot of beautiful pieces that she is doing. To say, she's the one who inspired me to pull out the Vincent van Gogh Starry Night, because she's also stitching on it. Yeah, to say, she really appreciates the craft, and you can tell. I like that in my floss tubers, and many colourful pieces. She's got, that was it, there was something else. She recently mentioned that her sister had celebrated a birthday, and not that she needs to know this or that it is important to the internet at all, but her sister and my sister share a birthday, so, you know, it's twins. I mean, not us, like they are. We're twins in the Starry Night, but they're twins in the birthday. Go give Karla a watch. She really is amazing. Stitch Me Sane. Okay. Then we have the next person, clearly, because they came next, which is a lovely lady called Heather, which is Queen Bee Stitchery on YouTube. I don't know if they have an Instagram. I will go and look, and if they have, I'll put it in the doobly-doos down the bottom. But yeah, again, she has got some beautiful pieces. For me personally, there are certain things people don't talk about. Is that you wouldn't associate, sorry, with a floss tube. However, Heather has very, very nicely let us into her life and told us about her story a little bit, and parts that I can relate to and I understand, which I appreciate. Not a story that I feel is mine to tell, so if you want to go and have a look, go and have a look. Alongside her amazingly beautiful pieces that she's got, very colourful. She's clearly someone like myself that enjoys chaos. So there's that on there. I would say go and give her a look. And finally, there is Stitching with My Littlie, which is a mother and daughter that I was looking for book parades. I came across them a few days back, and it's lovely to see generations stitching together. It really, really is. Loran, the younger, she's got to get her mum to do a back stitch, which is fine. Get you onto your back stitch if you want. I know people have got an issue with back stitch, but I love back stitch. It's great. It's when you're getting towards the end, you do the back stitch. Like I say, they've got beautiful, beautiful pieces. Again, I am stitching Hank and his harem, the 6 sides of Henry VIII, as Kayla is. And I say they've got some beautiful, beautiful pieces, some really cool needle minders as well, which I really, really appreciate. And they're very nicely given me the information I need to purchase some of those. Thank you so much for the enabling. But yeah, so Kayla and Loran, Stitching with My Littlie, again, will all be down in my doobly-doos. But yeah, they're the people that I have really watched. There is one other person to shout. They're not really a shout, because I've shouted them before, and again, they kind of become a bit of a staple in the Flosstube world, if you've not heard of them before. But Darcy Cameron, not shouting out, well, I am obviously shouting him out because I'm saying his name to you, but Darcy Cameron recently inspired me in a different way by finally tidying up all of his floss and everything and getting it all sorted and dubstepped and done and dusted, which is great. And that's kind of inspired me to put all mine together. I haven't done it yet because, procrastinate first about it. And then, he's got this big box that he's sorted everything out in. If anyone's got any tips and hints and tricks and stuff as to how they tidy all their bits up together, how they keep their floss and stuff, feel free to put it in the comments. Feel free to message me on Instagram at yas_stitch, inspired, who I am, and yeah, that'd be appreciated. And I say Darcy, again, someone that, if you don't know Darcy, you need to go and know Darcy. He is amazing. He really, really is. He's got his own shop as well, which, again, I appreciate some of the patterns he's got too. But yeah, he's a proper dude. Go give him a look, Darcy Cameron. So I've got a couple more things to mention, having looked at my notes. The first thing, just randomly out of nowhere, well, not out of nowhere, because I've just been speaking about writing songs and stuff. One of the songs that's kind of inspired me is a song by a gentleman called Brando and a lady called Kiesza, who I believe people may know from the song Hideaway. They did a song together, and it was actually not that song, but this song that I'm about to tell you about. My other half found and was like, Ash, you need to hear this song. So I listened to this song, and it's just one of those ones that just makes you think of good old, sunshine back in the day, nice evening, a bit of fun, bit of a dance, a few drinks, nice barbecue smells going on and all that. Yeah, it's called Out of My League. I'm just going to link it below if anyone wants a nice little ditty to sing along to, and if anyone's got any suggestions that are kind of along those lines, go for it. I'm always open. Something more to add to my bujo to listen to. But other than that, really, just my plans going forward. So my plans are, my main pieces, my Dragon Bones Underwater, my Once Upon a Fairy Tale, my Life in Countryside. On top of that, probably using my 150 Generations Pokemon when I've got some spare extra time to do so, because that's just, like I say, the same colour over and over again. Yeah, there'll be my 4 4 main like full coverages throughout the month. I'm going to focus on completing my druid piece at least. Even if I don't know what's going to go on with the rest of the piece, I will carry on with that. And also I'd like to continue with the old English haiku of Goest and Thyself. I'll work on that for a little bit, or at least I want to get at least all the writing done by the end of this month, which would be cool. And then either next month or maybe even the month after we start on the bits going around, I want to make sure I've got all of the threads for that before I start it. Yeah, so the druid piece, frogging. More than likely we'll be frogging the Harry Potter piece, or the Hogwarts piece, sorry, and may get on to doing that one with the peacock, but we'll just have to see. I'll say I do plan to spend some evenings being a bit more creative in other ways and outlets. I mean, I may share that with you guys at some point, I may not, you know, but if anyone, you know, like I say, has any suggestions for songs or artists, I want to say artists, I mean musical artists to listen to, because I would say about giving me books, but I've got so many books that I need to read through first, so once I need them I'll ask, but other than that I won't. But yeah, other than that I think I'm actually done here, guys. Yeah, so that's me. I haven't got any more notes, have I? No, just in case. Yeah, so that's me for this month. I've told you what I'm doing, told you what I've done, told you where I'm going to go. Yeah, so I'll put as much as I can. Remember that I've said to put in the bits down the bottom. As I've said from you guys, if you guys can think of any apps, if anyone's got any song suggestions or any other advice. There was something else as well. Yeah, I know I mentioned about D&D and I said about Drag Race and all that, and people that follow D&D, specifically Critical Role, are known as critters. If anyone out there watching is a critter, please feel free to come forward, because I'd love to discuss with yourself. But yeah, other than that, guys, I'm going to get on and I'm probably going to go stitch, if I'm honest. I don't know if you guys know, I like to stitch a bit. But yeah, I'll get on that, and I mean, dates. Let's see if I'm back before let's say the 14th of March, because that's like a month and a couple of days from today. We'll see how it goes. We'll say mid-March we're looking at a return, okay? But yeah, guys, take care of yourself. Happy stitching. Again, I'll throw this in at the end because I hate saying this, but please feel free to aid a homosexual in need and like, comment and subscribe. And I'm gonna go.